Hi, and welcome to Cover Brand, where we cover all things branding, marketing, and advertising to help you understand what the hell branding is and how it works to grow your business. Welcome and welcome back. I'm Ethan Decker. Today I have Arissa Kirkland. Hi, Arissa.
Hi, Ethan.
You are calling from somewhere very hot. I know that.
Yes, very hot in Phoenix.
Ugh. How hot is it there right now?
Probably over 110
And that's in the shade.
in the shade, I'm sure. Yes, without the shade, 120.
Easily. And in a car, 160.
It gets so hot.
One of my silly parlor tricks is to get this little UV thermometer that I have and point it at things and see how hot they are on hot summer days. And it's brutal.
Yeah, I bet you out here we would set some records.
Well, I'm glad I'm not where you are for that purpose, but it looks like you've got a little bit of a fan there because you've got the Beyonce hair thing going.
Yes, the ceiling fan keeps us alive.
Perfect. Perfect. For the folks who don't know you, tell us about yourself.
So I'm Arissa. I am the AVP of Marketing for a cybersecurity company named Bishop Fox. I've been with Bishop Fox for 15 years now, and I actually started off in marketing way back in the day, renamed us from Stack and Lou to Bishop Fox.
What was that first name?
Stack and Lou.
Stack and Lou.
Yes, it's hard to say, hard to spell.
Okay, is it one word or three?
Kind of two and an and sign.
One ampersand.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So it was hip and trendy before ampersands were hip and trendy.
Yeah, but we really wanted something that reflected who we are, and so we took the name Marty Bishop from the movie Sneakers.
Okay.
He's a hacker, and then Lucius Fox from Batman is like Batman's trusted advisor, and together we're Bishop Fox.
Oh, there's a really deep brand story there that nobody in the world knows about.
Now you do.
Okay, Bishop Fox. Okay, so before we get into the marketing part, let's talk cover songs, cover brands, cover music. You had a song you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, my favorite cover song, it's a mashup, an acoustic mashup between Blank Space and Style, both Taylor Swift songs by Louisa Wendriff.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a cover, it's a mashup.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Who's Louisa?
You know, I'm not really sure, but I know that she posted online and then Taylor Swift retweeted it. It went viral. So maybe she was just somebody that, enjoyed music and caught some attention.
Either a fan or an up-and-coming artist.
Yeah.
So it's a collab. No, it's not a collab. It's a mashup of Blank Space, which is a killer song. And what was the other one?
In Style by Taylor Swift.
Style. Okay. That's neat. And it's kind of an acoustic version, right?
Yeah, they stripped out all the pop kind of style to it and did acoustic, and it's really cool. I like it.
Nice. I love it that some artists at least, are embracing the music and interactions of fans. I mean,
Definitely.
Taylor Swift is really good at loving her fans.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I will have to look up that mashup and listen to it after the show. Thanks for that. Let's now turn our attention to branding, marketing, and advertising. So at Bishop Fox, you said you were there for a rebrand long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you just did a refresh recently.
We did. Yes, we're in the middle of it right now.
Okay. And that leads to your conundrum, which is what?
How do you know when to refresh? How do brands know? Do you refresh? Do you rebrand? When's a good time?
Oh, that is a killer question. It's a very common question too. I love that you brought it up. Well, let me ask you this. How did you all decide to rebrand long ago and then to refresh recently?
Yeah, long ago, I remember when I first started with Bishop Fox, we were always the best kept secret.
Mhm.
And when I came in and started marketing, I decided I didn't want that to be the story.
Uh-huh.
And so we wanted a name that really represented who we were. Stack and Lou always sounded like a law firm. And so refreshing to a new vibe, it just kind of represented who we were.
Yeah. Stack and Lou definitely sounds like a law firm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if it was one Swedish word, it would be some kind of furniture maker.
Yeah. An IKEA bookshelf.
Yes. I bought the Ottoman from Stack and Lou in Stockholm.
Yes.
But okay, so Bishop Fox made some sense. And then the notion of not being the best kept secret makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of brands like that notion because or I should say a lot of people like that notion because it feels self-aggrandizing to go out and beat your chest and market and advertise and promote yourselves, right? And so they want to be the best kept secret. That's fine if it's a really healthy business.
Right.
But if you want your business to grow, and if you want people to learn about you and know about you, and if you want to acquire new customers, you do not want to be a secret.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then recently you wanted to refresh from what Bishop Fox has been to something new. What was the tipping point there?
Yeah. We just went through a big area of growth after our Series A. And then after our Series B, we decided to go back to being more humanized, not being total product led first and foremost, but really showcasing the humans behind the technology. And that's been, a big shift in our branding story. And so we wanted our brand to reflect that as well. So that's why we started this refresh again.
Got it. And you just didn't feel like your current brand or your old brand was reflective of what you wanted it to be.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was super cool looking. It was very like metallic and modern, like
Mhm.
robot style. But now with our refresh, we're really going towards human elements, street art, and
Okay.
things that humans make and create, and that feels more authentic to us. It's still a little edgy,
Mhm.
but definitely more human inspired.
So when we're speaking about brand refreshes and rebranding, the first thing I would point out is that, well, I like to use this framework called Big B and Little B. Big B brand, like capital B, is your whole reputation. It's your whole company, it's your services, it's your products, it's your people, it's your CEO, it's your investors. And then there's Little B brand, which is your logo, your font, your colors, the thing that we often think about when we say, what's the brand?
Mhm.
But if you think of the Starbucks brand, of course, you think all that stuff. You don't just think of the logo.
Right.
So these two things have to work in concert and they have to do the best that they can each for their part of the puzzle. So for instance, your products need to be good. Your people
Right.
need to be good. And then at the same time, the logo, the icons, the imagery that's used to represent that stuff has to be good as well.
Mhm.
And you'll find that some people, I'll bet even in your own firm, Arissa, and I can ask you right now, you probably know some people who err on one side, like the little B brand side, and some people who err on the big B brand side.
That's an interesting one. I feel like there's a lot of people in our company that probably represent both too. And I think for us, we've always had a brand and I want to say a culture of excellence and quality service, and our brand we want to reflect that as well.
Good, good. Because it is so common that some people, all they care about is their reputation and that they think logos and mascots and colors are superfluous and wasteful and useless. And then
Mhm.
you've got some other people who all they think about are the colors and the mascot or the logo, and they fail to realize how important it is that your pricing is way out of whack.
Right, right,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Then you've got folks who have a good sense of balance between big B and little B brand, first of all.
definitely.
Good. Okay. So then when it comes to a refresh, and this is your question, when should you do a refresh? You pointed out one thing that I think is one of the first cues is you have a vision for your company and you don't feel like your current stuff fits it.
Mhm.
That's great. That is the first sign that you probably should do a refresh, that you've got a new vision or you've got a clarified vision or even the old vision, and your current stuff isn't helping you achieve it. It's
Right.
not fitting your desired brand image. So, yeah, that's a good sign that you probably need to do a refresh. Another sign would come from outside, which is it's not working for you,
True. That's a good
right?
point.
So the internal one is important in terms of your own goals and aspirations, but the external one is also important, which is to say, do your prospects and do your customers think that your brand matches your offering and think that your brand represents what you think it represents? And
Yeah,
so go ahead.
I think that goes right back to our Stack and Lou days, right? People thought we were a law firm, and we are not a law firm. We, are hackers at heart. So,
Did you
uh,
get that feedback?
yes, all the time. We thought you were a law firm, or we didn't know what you did, and
Yeah.
Again, best kept secret.
Yeah, that's really good feedback to then respond to
Yeah.
instead of fight and say, well, we're not a law firm. Damn it, they should know better. Right. Okay. So in this current climate, then for the new refresh, you've got the internal compass. What about the external market research piece? Do you have any information from outside the organization that the brand isn't working, isn't representing you properly with your prospects and your customers?
When I came into marketing, again, I started off in marketing, went into operations, and came back to marketing just recently. And as I was coming in, the team had just completed a brand survey, which, if anybody hasn't done that before, I would highly recommend it. It's very eye-opening to see how your brand is received, who it's, who's out there listening to your brand and paying attention.
Amen.
And so our brand was really known for our services,
Mhm.
and but I felt like the Little B brand was more reflective of our technology, and so I wanted them to match and go together.
So you actually did research.
Yes,
Did
yes.
it, can I ask, you don't need numbers, but did it cost you an arm and a leg, or was it affordable, or did you
It's
just
a little
bootstrap
pricey.
it?
It's a little bit of an investment, but truthfully, the the takeaways that we got for it really were able to help us give us guardrails on where we want to take our brand, and it gave us areas of what we were known for, and we doubled down in those areas and continue to grow in those, and we kind of let some of the other things go away, that we don't need to be known for everything. We can
Right.
focus on these things that are really resonating with the market. And so it's an investment, but I would highly recommend it.
Well, I double down on that. I double dog dare people to go out and learn what your customers and importantly your prospects think of or know about your brand or think of your brand image and that kind of stuff. You can do that in a multiple ways. You can do that quantitatively through a survey. Depending upon how hard it is to survey those people, it'll cost more. You can do it through interviews. You can do it through casual conversations at trade shows and industry events. You can do it just by actually calling your customers and saying, hey, I've got 15 minutes of random questions I want to ask you. You've been a great customer and I just want to ask your opinion on some stuff. I also think you can do it either in a concerted effort, like a big research endeavor once a year, like it sounds like you did, or you can do it on a rolling basis, on an ongoing basis of just making sure to check in with your customers at least check in with each customer once a year and maybe check in with a customer or two at least once a month, if not once a week. So you can do it on a rolling basis as well. And then it's just your habit to check in with people. So I love it that you did that. I think you got good information on both counts that maybe it is time to do a brand refresh. Internally, your brand image wasn't fitting what you wanted and your aspirations for the company. And externally, you were getting some information from your prospects and customers that the brand image wasn't matching your desired brand image and what you offer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That
Yeah.
resonates.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's great. That means you're pretty on schedule then to do a brand refresh. But I would say I love hearing that you did the due diligence internally and externally because a lot of marketers, especially marketers who come into a large organization or are new to it, want to put their stamp on things and want to make things new and fresh and feel modern and throw out a little too much
Hmm.
because they're just eager to make a change and see a change.
Right.
And in fact, the smart money is generally on slow, small, incremental changes to refresh your brand so that you don't lose people entirely.
Absolutely.
Did you ever see when Tropicana did a brand refresh about 10 years ago?
I did, and they lost out on millions of dollars.
$30 million in
Yes.
revenue kerplunked like really quickly because they threw it all out. They threw out the logo, they threw out the type, they threw out the big orange with a striped straw stuck in it.
Hmm.
And it was supposed to be this revolutionary new packaging that made people feel like the brand was modern. Well, it was too revolutionary because it made people feel like their brand was gone. They, I
Yeah.
mean, they're flying by the orange juice section at about 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
and they're probably on the phone with their partner trying to figure out, who's going to pick up the kid. Or
Yeah.
did you remember to get the yogurt as well? So they're not realizing that weird new OJ on the shelf is actually Tropicana.
Yeah, and similarly, I actually saw the Eggo waffles, like the frozen waffles, they're going through a rebrand right now, or a refresh, and instead of changing their packaging like Tropicana did, they're just changing things subtly. So they're keeping the placement of everything the same. The type is very similar, but they're scaling back some of the noise and some of that like overly dramatic kind of perspectives that they had on their packaging, but they took lessons from Tropicana, and they're trying to avoid that from happening to them too.
Oh yeah, Tropicana is such a poster child for a bad brand redesign, full redesign, not even a refresh.
Yeah,
And the good metaphor for this, for brand refreshes, is like updating your own look. None of us want to look like we're stuck in the 80s or the 90s or the aughts or whatever it was when we were in high school. Like, God forbid you see pictures of me in the 80s, because I was a child of the 80s and that would look really goofy right now. But I didn't change it all of a sudden in 1989. It wasn't some massive change. It was gradual over the years. I'd get rid of, some acid wash jeans and some parachute pants, and I'd gradually get things that were appropriate for the time.
For sure.
So you don't really want a big Oprah Winfrey style extreme makeover. What you want to do with your brand is a kind of an update for the times. Like when you go to your stylist and you say, it's looking a little last year. Can you make it look a little more this year? And then when you go to the store and you're like, yeah, I think I need to update my jeans. I've got some out of date jeans in the pile. And so another way to think about it, which is lovely, is people should look at the brand and say, the brand looks really good, but I don't know what changed.
Yeah.
Right? Just like they would with you. Like, oh my God, Arissa, you look great. But they wouldn't say, oh, Arissa, wow, you got rid of all those clothes from 2004.
So true. So true.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's a great question. I hear that a lot about when do you refresh? Should you refresh? And I think that you did the right things. So you are on the right track. Check in with the internal compass. Is your brand representative, do you think, of where you really want to go with your product and services? Check externally with not just your customers, but importantly with your prospects.
Right.
Because they are the future growth. That's where all the future growth comes from, really, is future people. And then check with them to see if the image matches what you think it should and what your products and services really are. And then go for a nice update without pulling a Tropicana.
Yes. No Tropicanas.
Yes. Once in a great while, I think it's okay for a brand to really do something radical, but you have to be ready for some radical dips and radical changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much. That was a fantastic question.
Thank you. This has been fun. This is good.
I wish you all the best luck with this brand refresh, and I cannot wait to see what it all looks like in the end.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Are you planning a big team offsite, a sales meeting, or a large company event, and you want to bring in a speaker who will blow people away? Then your first call should be Oprah. But if you can't get Oprah, call me. Also, if you got something out of this episode, think of one person who might also get something out of it and send it to them as a way of saying, hey, thinking of you.